Well, again, for the sixth straight year, we're partnering with a unit on campus in conjunction with the spring game, where we think it's a positive for both the campus and our athletic program. It gives us an opportunity to be a part of campus and contribute in a small way. But this year, the Department of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement will be the recipient of our spring game proceeds. We have a long line of units that request this, and I think this goes back to 2014, where they've finally come to the top of the list, and we work. Doug Teat in our office works hand in hand with this department, and they help us with the Beyond the Game program, and we just think it's a perfect fit, and look forward to a very successful game day and relationship.
Thanks, Coach. Patrick also wanted to share some opening comments.
Well, first off, I just want to say thank you to Coach and the rest of the staff who made this event possible for us. Coach is absolutely right. This is a coveted space to be in, so our work is cut out for us. We've got to make sure y'all come to the game. But more importantly, it's a way to demonstrate the institution's long-standing commitment to diversity and inclusion. We're actually, in terms of our peers, Big Ten, CIC, we're at the top of the heap in terms of the length, a number of years, 50-plus years. We've been thinking critically about diversity and inclusion and have the resources, the personnel, the staff, the people in place to affect change. And I think we ought to be able to celebrate those experiences for us in ways that we haven't in the past. And I think having this partnership with athletics is really key for us. The other thing I just want to point out is, when you have this conversation around diversity and inclusion, you can often end up preaching to the choir, the same people who do the work day in and day out. I'm really committed to ensuring that we address diversity and think of diversity in spaces that historically have not been on the vanguard or on the front end of pioneering diversity efforts. And again, another great opportunity to connect with the athletics department here at the UW. So I'm just thrilled and excited about the partnership.
Take questions.
No questions?
Was your Beyond the Game program a success, or has it been?
Yes, the Beyond the Game program, I want to say we're probably entering year 6 as well. That's a program designed to work with student athletes, in particular student athletes of color, to think about other career opportunities in addition to pursuing that dream of becoming a professional athlete. We know when you think of basketball, for example, or other major sports, the likelihood of getting the Melvin Gordons or the J.J. Watts or those folks are pretty slim. That being said, there are amazing skill sets that being a part of an organization like UW Athletics that teach you that translate perfectly well in a whole genre, a host of other career paths. And so that program is designed to think about leadership development, capacity building in ways that capitalize on the background experiences they've had with athletics.
Are you finding folks on campus, administration to student body, allowing for inclusion, being more receptive to what your goal and your project is all about, your department?
Yeah, I think Madison, it's a mixed bag to a certain extent, right? So the word on the street is we aren't as diverse. We get a bad rap for being in the location that we're in. It's a predominantly white state. That being said, there's an incredibly robust grassroots effort of people from all stripes who are committed to diversity and inclusion at this campus. We've never had, in my opinion, the kind of coordinated leadership where we're reaching out and we're capitalizing on the partnerships that have been in place at the grassroots level. We're just trying to grow it so they reach those who are in administrations or individuals who have spheres of influence that can make decisions and create change. So we're doing that work in earnest now, and I won't lie and say it's easy, but more importantly, there are people who are committed. And I take committed folk any day. No questions over here? All right.
For Barry, obviously, there's a lot to do in Madison in the spring, outdoors. It's tough to compete with all those other activities, but would you like to see higher attendance numbers considering what some of the other schools in the Big Ten are able to draw for a spring game?
For the last 25 years, I've liked to have seen higher attended spring games. We've tried a lot of different things, but we consistently, I would guess, average between 8,000 and 15,000, depending on the weather, type of day you have. That's pretty consistent. So I've kind of given up on having a vision of a full stadium. So, it is what it is. This is what we normally get. I think consistently we're going to get that. It's an opportunity, I think, for people to take a look and have a sense of our football team. It's a fun day out for young families. It's affordable. And I always felt it was important as a teaching tool for the team to get a response from a crowd. I think that's one of your steps in preparation for a game. So it's an important day, but I've pretty much given up the anticipation of having a big crowd, unfortunately.
Well, hopefully we can change that.
Good.
We have Ron Dane. I understand we just confirmed that he's going to be our honorary ambassador host with us for this event, so we're really excited about that as well. And we're trying to, again, build those kinds of bridges and spaces that historically haven't been there, but when you take another look, they make sense, right? They further cement both the university's commitment and certainly the athletics commitment to diversity inclusion. And I think those are things we ought to be celebrating. We ought to be shouting it from the rooftops because we're pretty good at it.
Pat, what are your plans leading up to the spring game to promote your department and maybe get your message out even more so than just with this press conference right now on February 1st?
Right. Well, I got a team of folk who are thinking about that who are putting the heavy labor in it to come up with that game plan. There are a lot of things we're batting around. One, we wanted to do a retrospective, if you will, of the number of diverse athletes who have come through UW athletics, to sort of highlight those success stories and what they've done with their lives since they've been at UW. We're certainly doing the full court press over with our colleagues at the foundation to get those individuals to reach out to alum, in particular alum of color, who are interested in supporting the goals of the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement. So we're trying to bring a number of seemingly disparate interests in one space, but to have the larger conversation that moves the needle towards how do we create more inclusivity and a space where everyone feels like they can thrive at UW, and there are a number of ways to get at that, and we're identifying a few of them right now. So,
Jesse?
Barry, just one football question, if you don't mind. What has impressed you most about Justin Wilcox from what you've known of him or in meeting him? And,
I really haven't I met Justin Saturday for the first time. Had a chance to visit with him a little more today. So, I really don't know him. I do remember watching his team practice years ago when he was at Boise and they played Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl, and one of the great all-time bowl games and upsets. And I remember I watched them practice 3 or 4 times, and I can remember coming back and saying how impressed I was with the efficiency of their practice. Didn't feel as though they were overly talented, but they were coached extremely well. And that might have been his first year as a coordinator, as I look at his bio. But I'm looking forward to getting to know him. I know in visiting with him today as he was watching film, he commented on how similar, our previous structure was compared to his. And, I think he has all the right values and the important things and understands it's the players making the plays and it's not coach is making calls. It's about the players, and he's taking a look at what we have and how to best feature the athletes.
Stephen, in the back.
Barry, I know the focus is the spring game right now for this press conference, but just wanted to hear your thoughts on, in the midst of the Big Ten season, how Greg has done as head coach of the basketball team.
Yeah, I've been impressed with how our basketball team has improved. I think it's quite obvious. There's individual improvement. I've been very impressed with adjustments and his movements during a game and how he matches players up. But it's, I spent so much time as a coach. You talk about improving. You try to put your players in the best possible positions. I see them playing an entire game, winning tough games, and so I've been very, very much impressed.
I mean, I know it's a long way away, but have you given much thought to, is he trending towards earning this job as
Yeah,
head coach?
it's way too early to even talk about that, and I won't even go that far. I gave you my evaluation, and that's where we'll go. I'm pleased so far.